Hey traders, I'm looking at a pretty decent setup with Netflix. Netflix is a large streaming organization where a lot of people use Netflix to stream their content, movies, TV shows, and so on and so forth. So that being said, let's take a look at it here. I'm on the daily time frame because I want to get a good sense of patterns, what's going on in the supply and demand arena. Now that I've seen that we're currently in an uptrend, I know that Netflix is a large cap company. It continues to rise in nature. So, as an investor, instead of a trader, as an investor, I'm evaluating my risks. And risks are really, really important when it comes to analyzing stocks. So, that being said, I'm only looking to buy a company that continues to grow. Now, again, if anything happens with high impact news or fundamentals or anything that can rock the market, it can completely rock your analysis. So you want to make sure that you're on top of high impact news, have an economic calendar around like Bloomberg or CNBC, so on and so forth. But I see that we're in an uptrend. And what I'm noticing here is that it's making some beautiful price structures. What I mean by that is that we're continuing to make some higher highs and higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And I love seeing sequence like that. Now, guess what? My higher lows is right where my previous higher high was. So if I draw a line like this here, you can see how it's meeting up with that. Now, this doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it's beautiful to react on it. Now, one thing that I would do before I buy is that I want to make sure that this is a strong support level here or a higher low. What I'm looking at here on the daily time frame is I'm looking at a doji candle. What is a doji candle? A doji candle usually has a wick here at the top. It has a wick here at the bottom, and then look at the body here in the middle. It's usually stuck in the middle. This often tells us that buyers are trying to push it up, but sellers are saying, nope, we want to push it down. That tells me that price is starting to range. This here is also known as a bullish flag pattern. So I can draw my trend line like this here, copy that angle, drag it to the other end here. And if I scroll out, it looks like a flag pattern. It's called a bullish flag pattern. So this is what happens with a bullish flag pattern. You have an uptrend, and then you have a pullback right at this level, and then a continuation to the upside. No different than this here. We have an uptrend. Here's our flag pattern, aka higher low. Uptrend, here's our flag pattern, aka higher low. Uptrend. Now, this retracement is a lot deeper and stronger than these two. And the reason why is because guess what? If I go to the daily time frame and scroll out, there is no price action here at all. This is literally a high, an all-time high for Netflix. So there's nothing to tell you how high it's going to go looking left for clues. I can't find higher highs and higher lows if there's nothing in the left to tell me that. So it's been climbing in nature. This strong pullback is telling us that buyers are ready to come back in. Sellers has exhausted themselves. Now, we always risk no more than 2% in our academy. So I'm also even prepared to see if case, just in case price comes back into this higher low right here. So within this zone, I think it will be pretty good. However, I'm not buying quite yet. I want to see what happens sometime tomorrow. I want to see who's going to win this tug of war. Buyers up here, sellers here. I think what's going to happen is that price is going to start to consolidate a bit. And guess what? If I look at the bottom of my screen, there's an earnings report coming out on July 17th. That is just 2 days from this date here, which is on Thursday. You may see the recording on Wednesday or shortly after, but on Thursday, they have an earnings report. We drop this in our private community all the time and anticipated earnings report. Here's our stocks community here. And if I go to the room here that says earnings releases, here's the latest one I dropped just yesterday. If I click it, and we can see Thursday after close, there's going to be an earnings report. Netflix usually have earnings report, and when you see a good earnings report, that usually means price will shoot up. And what better area for price to shoot up than right at a higher high in an uptrend? This will be our higher low where we're going to buy here, right? So if that doesn't happen by tomorrow, we may see a drop to around here. And if the earnings report comes in after that, we can expect a rise. So right now, I wouldn't do anything. I would just wait. I'm going to keep an eye out on the price of Netflix to see if it'll drop further around the 125.8 mark and the lowest around 112, 112. But again, it's going to depend on the volatility. I don't know if it's going to drop that far within a day and a half from now, but let's keep an eye out on it. Notice how I haven't used any indicators at all, guys, but I'm going to just throw in a Bollinger Band just as confluence. Confluence simply means to confirm what you already know. You want to lead with price action using supply, demand, support resistance levels, and then maybe throw in an indicator afterwards just to see if it respects your analysis. I'm going to throw in a Bollinger Band. Notice this Bollinger Band here, this green band at the bottom. This tells us when price is oversold. So this here will tell us when price is oversold, we would definitely look to buy here. And then guess what? It aligns right here at our higher low. Also, our Bollinger Band can act as a support and resistance level in the middle here. So remember, it's currently above it, but remember, we're playing tug of war here with this doji candle. So we want to wait to see how it closes by tomorrow. And then Thursday after close, because the earnings report won't happen until Thursday after the close of the market, I will look to buy wherever it's at. I will look to enter right here and then hope to gap up in the morning, and I can exit immediately or hold it maybe back up to this previous high. Guys, let me know in the comments if this makes sense. If you have any questions at all, I'm more than happy to answer them. Also, check out our website, bktradingacademy.com, where we hold your hand with new and struggling traders 24/7, lifetime membership. We'd love to welcome you. God bless you, and we'll see you in the next analysis.